Good morning! The Gigmaster has another new toy. Well, it's a backup toy because I already got one of these. But before we get into this right here, let's talk about how we got to this point. Alright, a few years back, say 7 years ago, I started doing some freshwater hunting and all, in the fields and all, and I started out with the AT Pro. Great machine. I found some crazy stuff with it, and it is still a good machine hunting the fields and the freshwaters and all. But after a few years with that, I started hunting the beach, and it just was not good on the beach. The Gear AT Pro was very chattery and noisy on the beach. It just it wasn't set up with the beach good. So I said, I gotta find me another machine. So I ended up getting the Equinox 800. I actually bought 4 of those because I worked on it for 3 years, and after a couple failed on me. But anyway, I started with the Equinox 800. Did great on the beach. It did good on fields too. Not a problem. Good machine. Found lots of really good stuff with it, but it started leaking on me. It seemed like, you know, at least once a month, I seemed like I was sending them back. Because it got flooded. I always had 2 though. I always had a backup just in case. One time, both of them flooded on me. I had a little issue. They had to borrow them from somebody. But normally, I always had one backup to keep getting up, so it didn't mess me up. Well, that went along for a while, so I just had to deal with it. It's under warranty. But then, like I said, ended the warranty. One went bad and it was out, so I ended up buying 2 more. Figuring I'd just keep replacing them as I needed. But it just got to the pain having to ship them back and forth and all. And they do leak. I don't care what anybody says, they do leak. All my friends have had them leak. I have a lot of people comment and say, yeah, mine leaked today all the time. But I said, I got to find another machine. So that's when I went with the Deus 2 came out. I think I've been using that for like over a year now probably. But I got to buy 2 of them. Anything I buy, I got to buy at least 2 because I got to have a backup just in case. The Deus 2 has been a good machine. I found 320 rings, what was it, 230 rings last year with it. So, I mean, it's doing good, but there's a couple things I didn't like about it. Y'all familiar? Well, first let's talk a little bit about the Equinox. One thing I didn't like was how it charged. For some reason, I just do not like when you have charging ports exposed to the water. As you see, the Equinox, the new one, the Equinox, the 700 and the 900, 2 new ones they just came out with, and the Manticore, they all have these exposed charging ports right here. And I'm underwater all the time with this thing. Now, I'm sure they have diodes. A diode, for electrical purposes, only allows electricity to flow one way. So when you charge it, it goes in, but it can't come back out. So when you put it in the water, it won't electrify the water. I'm sure that's what they do. I haven't looked at the schematic on it, but I'm sure that's what they do. Still don't like the exposure there. And I have had times when I'm charging it, you know, you got to get it just right before it start charging. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. A few things that, you know, started bothering me with this one, but the leaking was the main thing with it. The Deus, there's several things, and it's been a good machine, but there's several things that bother me with that. Like I said, I had to replace this for the carbon fiber shaft because I actually broke one of the other original ones. This one actually has a charging port too, right here on the coil, that you got exposed terminals, which I don't like that. I'm not crazy about that. I mean, I guess it's okay, but I'm just not crazy about it. All right, but this wire right here has been a pain to me. It's actually leaked. I had to replace it twice. I put it inside here. I just don't like it hanging all off my shaft here, so I put it through there. But then every time I push it in, it's kind of a little bit tight to get in there because it's actually crunching this wire up in, which I don't like. So there's definitely some issues I don't like. As y'all know, I've talked about before. This pod pops off, which I don't like. I've actually RTV'd it on, so it won't pop off on me anymore. So the wire has just got to the point I'm over it. I kind of didn't like that part of it. So moving on to where we're at now, I started trying the Legend out, and I've been using it now. I don't know, maybe a month, but I've been testing against all the other detectors. Deus, the Equinox 900, the new one. I did yesterday with CTX 3030 with my friend, and I have always been able to hear everything they could hear in the ground and in the water. One time it was close, but they couldn't hardly hear it, and I could barely hear it. But other than that, I've been able to hear every single thing, and I would have dug every one they would have dug, and vice versa. They're checking my targets too. So it's been a good machine, multi-frequency, just like all the other ones out there right now. So I'm liking it. The one I got first, it was the basic model. I think it's $4.99 for the detector. The basic model and the coils and all $4.99. And this one right here lists for $6.99. It comes with some extra stuff we're going to look at that right now. It has a spare battery and all kinds of stuff. I haven't even opened this up and looked at it yet, but I know enough about the machine when I get in here to know what I'm looking at anyway. So let's check it out. All right. I know what that is. That's a hat. We'll get that straight. Manual. That's the charging cord and the piece for the put the cord on with. Now, one thing I'll tell y'all, most of all these detectors you've seen me, I modify the heck out of them to fit what I like. You've seen me modify all kind of stuff with the Equinox region, all the shafts and the arm cuffs and all kind of stuff. The only thing that I've modified when I bought this is the length of the shaft. This thing right here comes, this right here, let's see if it's the same one here. It's, anyway, it's a lot longer, as you can see, than, gives me an extra few inches out on the ground. But I like to swing my coil way out in front of me versus right next to my feet. That's the only addition I've done for this detector. As you can see here, let's see what we got. Here's the headphones. This particular one comes with the wireless headphones. And these wireless headphones are really nice. They actually automatically pair with your detector. You cut it on. This has got an on-off switch. You cut it on, cut the machine on, automatically pairs. I know with my Equinox, I always have to kind of cut on the right time to make sure it links right now. These, you don't have to worry about it. You cut them on whenever. It's going to find them, and it's going to link. So really good with that. I really like that part of it. Here we have, let's see. This is what I've never seen before, right here. And what this is, and I've used this machine all day and never had any issues with the battery, but this is actually a battery that you can get. Looks like you might have cut into this. This is a battery that you can actually mount right on the shaft and have it so that you can plug it in and use it, which is pretty cool. Let's see if I can get a hand and look at it. Oh. All right, there it is. That's a battery right there. It actually goes, I haven't opened this up yet, so everything is still kind of in here. Oh, it's got a band on it right here. Let's get that off. All right, get this off here. There we go. I just want to get ahead and show you this real quick. I haven't tried to put this on anywhere yet, but we're gonna check it out right here. What do I do with it? Oh, we got two coils here. We'll look at here. It is. I've always seen this on here, but I've never tried it. I'm not sure it goes, but anyway, it goes in here. It's got a little catch that looks like you undo, but it'll slide in there and it will hook up so that you can plug your detector. If it goes dead, you're right here at it, which is pretty cool. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with it now. It looks like it's got like a, if you see it slides onto that, locks on, you screw it in, and it's locked on. But charge this up, keep it on here, and you got a spare battery if your detector was dead, which I've never had an issue with it. I probably would not put that on. I'll probably just carry that in the car and have it handy in case I needed it, but pretty cool to have that. All right, this one actually comes with two coils. Let's check the coils out. And they did just make a couple different coils for the Nocta, and I'm gonna be getting those two and check them out. It's the elliptical coil, which will help you in really iron situations where it's not covering as much ground. It should help out. So let's get this through here. All right. Here's the standard coil right there, and we got the mini coil. If you're in a nice hot zone with a lot of metal, iron, you can use that to kind of get closer in on the target. So that's pretty cool. Charging cords and everything. But anyway, that's gonna wrap that up right there. I'll get this all put together. I actually got a friend of mine that says he's interested in them. Probably gonna set up so he can check it out this weekend. He wanted to test one of these out, so I'll have two, so I'll be able to let him try one. But everything's looking good. I'm liking it so far. It's held up. You know, most of y'all know I'm not real gentle on machines, so I get a target, drop on the ground, hit it, it's been really good as far as the arm cuffs and all go. You know, I've had trouble, everybody's had trouble with the ones on the Equinox. Detect Ed sells a great, if y'all want to keep those, Detect Ed sells an awesome shaft for the Equinox and arm cuff for the Equinox. He's got packages and all too, so check him out, Detect Ed. But anyway, we this one, like I say, has been very sturdy, very durable, very well built. I'm really shocked with the price, how well it's built and how it does. One other mod I do is I take a little white out and put it right in here, because if you see right in there, you can't see the buttons as easy. They're there if you know where they're at, they're fine, but I always kind of put a little white on that so I can see the buttons a little easier versus just looking at them. But a lot of people do that too. But anyway, that's how we got to this point, and I'm going to be wearing this Legend out and giving it a good test run. So far, I'm really happy with it. I have not dove underwater with it, but I did talk to the repair facility, and they said they have not had one come back leaking. And that was one of my main concerns, make sure that was a fact. So anyway, I will let y'all know how this thing works out for me. So far, so good. All right, appreciate everybody coming along. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share, and subscribe to the Gigmaster. We'll see you out in the field. Stay tuned.